Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Scoreboard Focus. My name is Iffy. Today, I'll be doing a review from the interview that was had recently by Owen Hargreaves, interviewing Ruben Amorim, the head coach of Manchester United. So, there are a couple of key points that I'd like to share with you that were discussed during the interview. And just to get a feel of what Ruben Amorim is actually thinking about his current situation as Man United head coach, uh, what he's thinking about the future, what he's thinking about possibly maybe trying a new formation, new tactics, and new ideas for him to stay as long as possible as the Manchester United coach. So, one of the first things that Ruben Amorim mentioned throughout the interview is that while he was at Sporting Lisbon in Portugal, where he really made a name for himself, he had stated that at Sporting Lisbon he had more control in terms of his influence in the first team. He had more control in terms of transfers, um, the style of play, and how the players were kept fit, the training regime, how the players would adapt to different types of challenges throughout the season by playing in tough away games, European competitions, getting used to different climates, different challenges that comes with being a top footballer. So he had more control. He had more freedom to express his ideas. And at Manchester United, uh, it is not like that. It is not. It has not been like that. Obviously, Manchester United is a bigger club, and they have different types of people in different roles, and he has had to adapt to working with more people um, who are involved in the first team, in the way it operates, in the way it plays, in the way it recruits players. So yeah, it's more of a team effort, and more people are working with Ruben Amorim in attempts of uh, improving the Man United squad, improving the way it plays, improving um, the players that are recruited and players that could potentially be part of Manchester United in the near future. And he also mentioned that the Premier League is much more tough, very difficult to play in compared to the Portuguese league. He has mentioned that the Premier League is more difficult and is more unpredictable because um, almost all the teams, they have a different way of playing, different quality of players, and it's it's a very demanding league. And while they're playing home and away, the games are very difficult, and the style of play is much faster. It's more physical, and that has was not making an excuse for his poor run of form, not getting results, but he was just speaking from an assessment point of view as a manager in England, and bear in mind, this is the first time in his career that he's coaching um, in the Premier League. All his coaching career obviously began in his homeland, Portugal, and he has been coaching in Portugal for several years and has never coached anywhere outside of Portugal. So he's just giving feedback on how, compared to where he was, the differences, and of course, also the climate change as well, and the style of play is 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 also very challenging because in Portugal, obviously he played the same system that he's using now, 3-4-3. And initially, what's most surprising is that he started his career by coaching, by using the formation of 4-4-2. He used it at, I think there's a club that he coached before Sporting Lisbon. It might be Boa Vista, I think. That's where he was coaching before he went on to Sporting Lisbon. So initially he was using 4-4-2, but then he said that he got inspired by the late Johan Cruyff, the Barcelona legend, who implemented an attacking style of play by using three defenders at the back and using wing backs to shore up the defense and also help in an offensive position as well. So, yeah, that's where he got inspired. That's where he really started using the 3-4-3 formation by getting inspiration from the late Johan Cruyff. I mean, it worked for him, and that style of play was very refreshing. And at that time, it was something that the football world, the footballing world, never saw something like that, anything like that. And yeah, it worked for him. And I'm sure he's not the only coach who has been inspired by such a style of play. I'm sure top managers like Pep Guardiola, Sir Alex, I'm sure that they got inspiration from that type of play. So yeah, he also mentioned his style of play. Um, he's insisting on sticking to 3-4-3. He thinks that he can still use it to his advantage. But let's be honest, so far this formation has really not worked, and his winning rate is very very bad. It's actually the worst in many Man United history in terms of the football managers that have been coaches at Manchester United. So um, it's not working, but he still believes that he can use the same shape in a different way to improve the team's performances and to hopefully start winning games. But there's a huge doubt. I don't know. I don't think that him continuing with the same formation 3-4-3 is going to help him in any way. I mean, he might as well go back to 4-4-2. He started out coaching using 4-4-2. I mean, he should try different formations. I mean, great coaches like Carlo Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola, Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, they use different formations, different tactics in order for them to win games. Sometimes um, your formation might not work. Sometimes your tactics might fall short of what you had in mind. So I'm still worried about him saying that that he wants to use this 3-4-3 formation. He wants to continue with it. Um, so I don't know. You know, I don't know if that will work for him, but yeah, he's insisting. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then he also mentioned that uh, the current squad that he has, the current crop of players that he has, he mentioned that there are no, um, brave players. To put it in his words, there are no crazy guys who you know who are unfazed by pressure. People who players who can step up to the game, even if when the team is down in confidence and losing a game. He feels like there are no players who are brave enough in his team to pick the squad up, to pick everybody up, and to demand the ball and to try and create chances, even when the team is, behind, even if they are losing a game or they are playing badly. He basically is saying that there are no standout characters that can really carry the pressure of the team on their shoulders. And well, I mean, it's a fair assessment. It's a fair assessment from what you've seen. The team is lacking a lot of confidence. Even star players like Cunha, like Mbomo, yes, they are trying. Sesko. A lot of players, even though Manchester United are playing very badly at the moment, there are players who are trying to contribute the best that they can. And then Yoro is also trying. But the team is just not coming together. And I think he has a point because if you have players that can really handle a lot of pressure on the pitch, players who are determined to fight and to put in a lot of work ethic in training and in matches, most importantly, to win games for United, even when we are not playing well. Those sort of players are needed. Every team needs a player like that. Every team needs your Kevin De Bruyne's, uh, Roy Keane, Steven Gerrard, you know, Didier Drogba. Imposing figures. John Terry, Rio Ferdinand. Every team needs such players. To pick the team up, to give them confidence, and to rally them on to in order to get points, and to improve as a team. So I think I think he has a point. Out of all the players in the team, I mean, who does that? Like who can really take all the responsibility and carry the team and do what needs to be done in order for Man United to pick up a point or to pick up all 3 points, to have a winning mentality and a winning run going. Yeah, I mean, but then again, they gave him a lot of money. I mean, Ineos gave him a lot of money. He spent over £200 million. I mean, that was his opportunity to get such marquee signings that could really, um, you know, do as he's saying now. Players who were great characters, who are great leaders. He was supposed to use that money to bring in those type of players. Not to say that the players that he bought um, lack character and talent, but if you're saying that the team is lacking such influences in your team, I mean, there's no one to blame. They gave you the money to buy players. You chose to buy the players that you wanted to buy. And yeah, I mean, you just can't say that, okay, the team lacks uh, players who can handle pressure. I mean, end of the day, it ends up, it falls back to you, Ruben Amorim. As a coach, you were supposed to get those players. You are the one who was supposed to sign them and bring them in so that the team can improve, So, of course, the signings that he made, Mbeumo, uh, Mbumo, Cunha, Sesko, Lemens, yeah, all good signings. He mentioned them as well. But it seems like he was not satisfied with how the transfer window um, uh, you know, ended up being. He clearly wanted to buy some more players, because if he's saying that the team lacks character, players with character, maybe he wanted to buy more players, and that's why maybe he wanted to buy Carlos Baleba from Brighton. I think he's one of those players who can really bring a calmness to Manchester United's midfield and can help them creatively by creating goals and scoring goals as well. Because he's that type of player. But it's down to him. It's down to him to sign the right players for me. Um. So yeah. Basically, Ruben Amorim. It wasn't a long interview. It was very brief. It was less than 15 minutes. But yeah. Ruben. Owen Hargreaves asked Ruben Amorim important, relevant questions. Especially with all the pressure that's mounting in regards with his post as Manchester United's coach. There have been rumors that there are possible replacements lined up who could replace him. We've been hearing rumors of Michael Carrick, Oliver Glasner, Andoni Ariola, Gareth Southgate, Xavi Hernandez, Zinedine Zidane. A lot of great coaches, a lot of great personalities linked with this job. And I get the feeling that from this interview, Ruben Amorim still believes, somehow or another, for some reason, that he's still the right person for the job. Ineos are still behind him, you know. But remember, these are the things that we heard in the time of Eric Ten Hag. They spoke exactly the same. They said that he had the backing of Ineos, he had the backing of all the top officials at Manchester United, and they still think is the right man for the job. And then a few weeks later, they sacked him. So you'll never know what will happen in this situation. But I think we can all agree as Man United fans, Man United faithfuls, that if he doesn't start winning games, then the inevitable is going to happen. They're going to have to bring in another coach. They're going to have to bring in a new manager who will have to fill this post and try to turn things around. So yeah, that's my review on this interview that was had. Let me know what you think about the points that I've discussed throughout this video. Do you think that Ruben Amorim needs to maybe consider trying new tactics and formations in order to prolong his stay as a Man United coach? Does he maybe need a couple of more signings for his vision to come to light and for the players to gain confidence and to start winning games? Or does Manchester United simply need a new manager as soon as possible, a qualified manager who can help the team to start winning games, to climb up the table, and to gain confidence and momentum throughout the season so that they can finish as high as possible in the league? Let me know what you think. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your opinions and suggestions. I'm open to hearing from you guys. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I'll see you next time.